Welcome back to the Puck Bunker. I'm Rocco Zappia, joined as always by my co-host, the man who co-wrote Ice Ice Baby, Darren Boyce. And today we are joined by a very special guest, the man that the boys know as BMO, but the guy that we know as the Blake Mamba, Blake Montgomery. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks for joining us and taking some time out of your summer to hop on. So let's start with the season that just finished. You guys, congratulations, by the way, OHL champion, Memorial Cup champion. Um, Take us through your season, start to finish, because it was a bit of a wild ride for you personally, a few different places, sort of thing. So how'd you end up sort of in London? And obviously the fit there was great. And take us through that kind of journey all the way to lifting the Memorial Cup trophy.
Yeah, so obviously I started in Lincoln, Nebraska, in the USHL, and I played about 10 games there, started of the year, and then it just wasn't really working out. Some differences here and there with the situation, and I was looking for something new and something that'll fit my development better. So in the process of, I was actually looking for a trade to start, like within the USHL, and then during that week, it started to open up with the whole CHL voting and those rules starting to uplift a bit, and then it was just a matter of honestly perfect timing. So I was about to get a trade, and then next day I'm getting a call saying London wanted me, and then that I would have been able to go to school. So it was almost a no-brainer from there. So I was like, all right. So packed my bags up. Then I waited in Michigan for about 3 nights for the vote to officially pass, because going to school was a big part of it for me. So, and then, yeah, I was in it. So I practiced one day, and then next day we were in Guelph, and then my welcome to the OHL game. That was crazy. It was a 8-7 win for us against Guelph on the road. So that was a bit of a shock and how different it felt. And the boys were all telling me like, "Hey, that's not a normal game," or "Sorry, that was your first game." But so that was a good welcome. And then from there it was just getting adjusted to the different league and just different play style from overall how it felt, because it was really different than the USHL, and then just fitting in. And then sure enough, once I felt like I got comfortable, I started to play really good hockey, and obviously we were winning games. So that made it a lot of fun. And then obviously you saw leading in the playoffs, I mean, crazy run. I mean, one loss in the OHL and then winning that cup, and then to keep it going into the memory. I mean, it's unreal. It was unreal. So I mean, looking back on it, I'm just grateful for that opportunity and how it worked out for me, because I feel like I couldn't have gotten any luckier.
Was London on your radar before that, or was it literally just when school became an option that that was like, because I know your brother had played in London before too. So did that kind of go into maybe making your decision easier as well? Like maybe it was a follow up there too.
To be honest, not at all. Like it was crazy. Like if I told myself last summer, like, hey, like you're gonna play at London, I would have just laughed like in my own face. I mean, because my whole plan, go to school, like the OHL was just out of the question. And even my brother going there, and he had a good time there, and he loved it there. But for me, I mean, I liked my path, and then stuff wasn't working out, and it just crazy how it opened up so quick like that.
You mentioned that you thought there was like one thing that you noticed was a massive difference in play from the USHL. So like, could you elaborate on that a little bit? Like, what sort of things were different about it?
Just the overall feel to the game. Like in the OHL, playing guys, like it was very systematic. Everyone's in position, and then just overall skill. I mean, guys are making cross ice tape passes. It's quick. It's bam, right up the ice, and then it's very physical. But what I would compare it to, like the USHL, like it was a little bit more run and gun. Guys, getting more out of position. Definitely more emotional in the play, and then just kind of a little more reckless. But the pace was very relative, and then so the main difference I would say was just overall just the feel and just systematic game to it.
Now
Go ahead, boys.
If I can follow up there too. Like you came in a little bit, you said it kind of take a couple games to adapt. I remember, again, just for reference, I do live in London, so I went to a fair number of your games. So, but when you started out, again, you said it took a few games for you to adapt. Then most everyone on the team, a lot of guys on the team went to World Juniors, and you got a boatload of ice time and played really well. with that ice time. So, tell us how it kind of it's like you kind of got thrown into the fire basically, and you succeeded. And how did that kind of push your season forward, and how much confidence that gave you?
Oh yeah, just like you said, it made me gain a lot more confidence in myself because going into it, I felt like I knew what I was capable of, but I was never really put in a position to be kind of leaned on in that sense. So I mean, I just felt like for me, all I had to do was step into it and just play the best I could, and then obviously a lot more ice time. Playing with Barkey and O'Reilly. I mean, we played really good together. That was a fun stretch, and then just when you asked about adapting it was just kind of more just getting comfortable and doing what I can do and just being able to like go out there and do it because I felt that I was always capable of making those plays, playing with that speed and scoring those goals. It just kind of never really clicked for me, and then once I started to pop a few and then got to be in that position as where I was leaned on in that situation, it just helped me gain a lot of confidence to keep it going.
That's wild. What a crazy story. Like you didn't even have any plans to go to London even at the start of the year, and 10 games later, you're like, I need to get the hell out of wherever I am right now. And it ended up working out. It looks like couldn't have worked out better, like you said. Now you've had a bit of an interesting trajectory hockey-wise. First time around at the draft, you didn't get picked your first year eligible, and then last year you ended up getting picked by Ottawa. But you took obviously leaps and bounds in your development probably the last 2 years. Going into that first year draft eligible, did you have any in your mind any kind of hopes of getting drafted that year? Like, were you kind of disappointed you didn't hear your name that day, or was that kind of expected? And secondly to that, is that kind of what fueled you to take that massive step last year when you did get drafted by Ottawa?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It definitely did fuel a fire in me. And going into that draft, I didn't expect to go, but that also kind of made me a bit more mad, seeing my whole age group and guys, you played and such. But for me, I just kind of took it as, took it with a grain of salt. I just put that season behind me, and I knew I did a lot better. I expected more out of myself. So going into that summer, actually, it was the camp, like the tryout for Lincoln. That's where I kind of realized I could take the next step because like I was playing with a bunch of guys from the team before, and I felt really good. I felt really good. So that's kind of where that step took. And then going into it, I mean, I never really knew how good I was, like myself, or kind of what I was capable of until like it kind of got put in action on a bigger stage. So once I started to feel comfortable in the USHL and started to make some pretty good plays throughout the year, that's when I kind of just kept it firing from there. But yeah, it was definitely pretty tough to not go that first year, and then but at the same time though, I'd say it was the best thing for me since it motivated me to have the season that I had.
Got him to the team we want him on, Rocco?
Honestly, like I'm gonna be real here for a minute. Like Darren Boyce, I'm pretty sure I could play for the London Knights and Darren Boyce would be pumping up my tires. Like this guy, like he loves the London Knights. I don't care what anyone says. Now, equally, it is. We refer to it as the London Hockey Factory for a reason. Could you kind of speak to how the Hunters kind of approach their business there and what it's like playing for him? Because I mean, the first thing you said, and I kind of knew where you're going with that answer, is you said it's so much more systematic. And can you speak to kind of how playing for a coach like that kind of has prepared you to kind of take that next step into college, which is obviously going to be like that, and then further to that once you reach Ottawa?
Oh yeah, he treats the players like pros. I mean, he goes about his business like as a pro, which he was, and he kind of leaves it in your court. Like he'll do a film and he'll tell you what to do when you're doing wrong. But for the other half, like he won't get on you. He's not going to yell at you like for not doing anything. He'll just play other guys because there's just guys on deck for whoever he needed in certain situations. But I did really enjoy that because I mean you knew if you weren't playing, you clearly knew you were doing something wrong. So for him, as a coach and, his philosophy, he really just understood kind of the game and the players and kind of understood what it takes, go through it and to win games. So all we did was trust him and kind of just play our game, and we won a lot. So he's a pretty good coach.
You guys had one loss there, like it's a crazy team. Like you and Elliot like joined the team partway through the year. What was that like? Kind of, how did you treat him during that run? Because I mean, if I'm in that room, like I'm pretty much just not talking to the goalie until he gets off this heater. Like, so like, what was he like? Did he like you guys to kind of acknowledge that he's continually playing well and winning games for you guys, or you just kind of leave him alone and hope it kept up?
I would say they were very sneakily superstitious. Like if we were winning, everything was the same. I mean, from practice to post game to the film timing. I mean, I even starting lineup. Like I realized if we were winning, like nothing's gonna change. So in that sense, we had our goalie coach Rooker. So that he was with Elliot. He wouldn't talk to him during games. He would just give him feedback after. So like in that sense, they were very hands off until they needed to be hands on, which is I think a good way to go about it because they all played hockey. Like they understand like players need to be in their own head sometimes and figure it out for themselves. But at the same time, sometimes they do need a pushing. But I feel like they just understood and had a good balance to it.
Now, you guys in the playoffs lost once, and then you lost once in the Memorial Cup. To lose twice and still win the Memorial Cup is quite a tough feat. And I'm just going to point out something that I grew up in London, so I was watching the team when I was like 5 years old. They won 3 games one year, man. They won 3 games. So it's quite remarkable where you guys have gone. But I guess the question I have is how do you guys kind of like you yourself, but the team maintained the level kind of a focus needed, especially in junior, which is really hard to do, to beat some really high end teams. Like, I mean, Oshawa's a good team. You guys, I'll say you pumped them, but
I'd say we hanged on, perhaps.
And I mean, I get some of those Q teams, like those are good teams, and you guys kind of, I mean, I thought you guys handled your business pretty well. Maybe just talk about maybe kind of the leadership of the team, or just in general the mindset of you guys that you had all year, because it's quite remarkable for a junior team.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, and that all credit goes to the leadership group we had, which is the guys who were there for a few years now, 3-4 years, like Cowan, Barkey, Bonk, Sim, and then like all the guys who were there. But those guys, I mean, they had a burning desire. I mean, just hungry to like win. I mean, even winning, like it could be we'd be playing Sarnia on a Tuesday at 2:00. Like those guys don't care. Like they treated it like a game 7. So I mean, that's just goes to show the kind of attitude and hunger it takes to win, especially down the run. Because I realized too, that's one thing I learned from them. Like I hate to lose now. I absolutely hate it. Like because any game we played, we could be up 8-0. Like those guys still want to go out there and score. So that mindset, and they just kept it going throughout the whole year, especially with how it turned out for those guys the year before. That definitely left even more fuel than those guys already had. So going into the whole year, that they had their mindset on just the Memorial Cup. I mean, as excited as we were to win the OHL Cup, you could tell like it was still just half of what we wanted. So I mean, those guys just set the tone. They really set the tone.
You can bring that attitude to Ottawa, please. We like guys who hate to lose. That's for sure. Boys, do you want to touch on London at all anymore?
I think we're good. I think let's move on to kind of the upcoming. I got a question, kind of cover the upcoming season. Now that you're moving on from junior, what things are you kind of getting prepared for now to play a college season now? Like what are some things that you think you're going to take from junior? What are some things you're working on this summer that you think you're going to need to adapt to a different game again?
Yeah, definitely just putting on strength, some size and weight, because I think that'll translate well to my game because it's a heavier game, more physical. So I need to be able to handle that in college and for pro after. So for me, it's just having a big summer, getting strong in the gym, and then just applying a lot of stuff that I'm trying to work on the ice, which is, using my speed better, like skating through hands, getting to the net more, and just kind of being more of a dog in the corners or whatnot. So for me, I think that'll come with putting on weight and getting stronger. So as long as I stick to that and reach my off-season goals, I think it should translate well nicely to the season.
I like what you're saying. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen our show, probably not, but these are the things that we talk about all the time that we don't see enough of from prospects, is being a dog in the corner, getting to the middle of the ice, using your size. Like, that's great. So like, I lost my train of thought there for a minute. Okay, sorry. So you've obviously played in a few different teams now, and now you're going to yet another new team, another new league. Have you found that kind of difficult? I don't want to call you a bit of a suitcase, but the last couple of years, you've been moving around quite a bit. So has that been difficult for you, or have you kind of tried to just do your best to kind of take bits and pieces and learn from each new environment before you know you're moving on again?
Yeah, I'd say if you asked me like 2 years ago the same question, I would say like it kind of sucks. But now looking back on it, I'm very grateful for the experiences I've gotten at each and different spot, because like what you said, I just learned so many different things coming from different teams, different cultures and different leagues, and kind of I could say I've seen many different types of coaching, to locker rooms, to systems. So for me, I feel like now I really can tell, in a room, if, these guys, get it or whatnot. So very glad to have that, because I've been on winning teams. I've now been on terrible teams. So it's just nice. So I feel like I understand a lot more.
So you were just at development camp. What was that experience like? And, I know you're going to college this year, but does that kind of give you a little bit something to drive for, so you can, when you go to the main camp, I guess maybe not this year, but maybe next year then?
Oh, absolutely. And it was a fun camp, seeing all the familiar faces and then all the staff. But it was a really quick camp. It was like 3-4 days, so it just flew by, especially with all the activities and testing and skates we had. So, but it was a lot of fun. And then, yes, it's disappointing we can't go to rookie camp or main camp just yet, but that is definitely something to look forward to.
So you're from Annapolis, Maryland. I'm going to be honest with you. I've never been to Annapolis, Maryland. Is that a hockey hotbed for the area, or was hockey something that you were kind of like the kind of odd kid out, like this guy's playing hockey? Like, how did that come about?
Oh, absolutely. Hockey is not Maryland is not a hockey state whatsoever. My daddy's from St. Paul, Minnesota, so he started playing when he was like 12 or 13. He had a good college career at St. Mary's. He'll tell everyone this. He was a 2-time All-American, and he's in their Hockey Hall of Fame. So he did have a good career there. And then he got recruited by the CIA, which brought him to D.C. And
Are you even allowed to say that?
I don't know. But I get shut down. So, but yeah, he did do that for a few years, and then he loved the DMV so much he stayed here. So met my mom, and then I was born in Annapolis, raised in Bowie, and sure enough, he got us in hockey out here. But it was definitely a lot of traveling.
Yeah, like, is that like, so like, what is the travel like from there? Like, where are you going to play?
Yeah, so I played for Team Maryland growing up. Like, well, like the real youth, like when I was like 5 to like 8, that was just right in Bowie, like just some youth hockey, like typical stuff. And then, but once we got to AAA, Team Maryland, it was called Team Maryland. That was like a 45-minute drive. So we were driving 45, 50 minutes like 3 times a week for practice, and then nobody would ever come to play us. So it was always away games in the AOIHL. So we were either in Philly, New York, New Jersey, or just somewhere a few hours away. But mostly every weekend we were just traveling, just driving somewhere.
It's just a grind.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Probably great memories though.
Did you play any other sports growing up? Like, I'm sure, like you're a tall kid. Like, they must have looked at you and said, "Dude, like, can we put a football in your hands?" Like,
I dabbled in soccer and lacrosse, because lacrosse is very big in Maryland, but those kids were just way too good for when I started. So that made me tap out of lacrosse pretty quick. And then I didn't really enjoy soccer, but just until hockey started to really take over.
how old were you, like, kind of when you said, like, okay, you're looking in the mirror and say, you know what, like, you could be an NHL player, like, you got to really, really go for this. Was there a certain point that you kind of turned that on, or did you always have that as the main goal?
It was always the main goal, but when I'd say it kind of clicked for me that this could happen was not until my first year of juniors, like in Lincoln, because like I said earlier, like growing up, like I always knew like I kind of had a knack for the game, but I fully just did not understand like the extent of it. So it wasn't until like I started crushing it in juniors that I was like, hey, like, and talking to some NHL teams, I was like, okay, this is something I can do. It's what I love to do. So kind of made me that much more excited for the future.
How was it growing up? Like, I mean, your brother was obviously, he was drafted as well by Carolina.
Yeah.
What was that like, having him as an influence? Like, was he kind of hard on you, or did that just kind of make it better? Or was, it's always interesting when two brothers are drafted, the kind of the relationship there between the older one and the younger one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was definitely tough on me because he's very dialed into like his routine and stuff. So whenever he would see me say sitting around or doing nothing, I could have worked out, skated 4 times that day. He could see me sitting around. What are you doing? You know what I mean? So he was just always kind of give it to me. And it was good to see that too. What he does to be where he's at. With his routine and what he does for his body and just take care of himself. So having him there throughout my career growing up, it was very good.
So I actually wanted to follow up on something. When you were drafted by Ottawa, were they kind of poking around at you before that? Are they kind of giving you an inkling that maybe, they were interested in you, or was this kind of just something that kind of came out of left field on you, or are a couple teams interested? How did that kind of work out for you?
I would say I talked to them, but I would say I had no clue if they would have picked me because we had one Zoom call I was with Boyd and Boyzer, and then didn't talk to them for like 3 months, and then the day before the draft, I had a Zoom call with like all of them, and then like to be honest, like I thought they hated me, like they were just kind of grilling me, and just I wasn't getting any bites, no smiles or anything, so I was like, oh god, I think I shaft that one, and then because like a few other teams, like I went out to dinner with them and all this stuff, so I was like, all right, I don't know what's going on, but I was pretty pumped to see Ottawa. It's a good spot.
There we go, Rocco.
Boyster, who's gonna win? And your brother's a defenseman, 6'5" defenseman.
Yeah.
Who's winning a game of 1-on-1?
Oh, me all day. I was bullying him today, like I was saying. We were 3-on-3. I was treating him like a little boy. So,
that's harsh, man. That is harsh. That's gonna be a clip. I'm gonna have to make that a clip because that is harsh. So, like, obviously, big, fast guy, pretty good hands in my opinion as well. What's your role like? I mean, everyone in the NHL has something that they're elite at. That's how they stay in the league. What are you gearing towards in terms of where you see yourself one day fitting into this lineup?
Mainly just as an overall player, just a guy that you can trust when he's on the ice, defensively, and then obviously offensively too. But for me, it's just, I've learned, especially coming from London, just defense first. I mean, once you take care of the D zone, everything else will take care of itself. So what I want to bring is a fast, physical game, and hopefully be a lot of fun to watch.
I'm looking forward to your first shift. I really am. I'm really
thank you.
This upcoming season, like what are the goals here for you? I mean, I know you're going to college and you have to do some school, and that's unfortunate, but you're obviously mainly going to play hockey there. What are the team goals there? And then what would be something that you're maybe saying, okay, here's one thing, one piece of my game that I'd actively like to get better at?
For me personally, one thing I want to get better at is just being more consistent in my shifts, because I feel like I was pretty solid consistently game to game, but I feel like I can improve my shift to shift consistency, because some shifts I'd say I dominated, for the most part, and then maybe that other shift, I maybe wouldn't touch the puck or just kind of float around a bit. So I just want to bring that intensity throughout the whole entire game. And then for our team, I mean, we want to win. I mean, what else do we want to do? It's a short season, it's quick, and then it's a whole lot of fun. So for us, I mean, the most fun we're going to have is, winning. So I want to see us get it done.
You got addicted to winning in London.
Oh man, it's a curse now. It's a curse.
That's a blessing, my man. That's a blessing.
Oh yeah.
So, Logan Hensler was drafted by Ottawa as well. He is playing at Wisconsin now. Did you know him before that happened? And are you guys kind of what's that relationship like now that you're on the same, I guess, drafted by the same NHL team now? How's that work?
Oh yeah, we got to know each other a good bit because we did report date was June 10th, so I did go straight from London to Wisconsin. So we were there for up until Dev Camp. So we got to hang out and I got to know him a bit. He's a really good kid. He's funny. So, and I mean, he's a hell of a player. There's a reason he went that high. He's so skilled. But I think it's awesome, especially with him, Bruno, and Tyson. I mean, it's crazy. We have so many Ottawa prospects on one team. And it's really exciting to see those guys now, and hopefully we'll be playing pro together as well.
The Wisconsin Senators. I
Yeah.
like it. We might have to take.
You're gonna make a trip
down,
up, Rocco.
Yeah. Yes, I completely agree. Any excuse to go away for a couple of days, I'm in. Boys, you got anything else for Blake?
I'm good. I just thought you had a great season this year, and really look forward to watching you grow further. Really excited to see you at Wisconsin, and hopefully we can see you at Ottawa at the end of the year. Maybe that would be great.
We'll see. That's the goal.
No pressure, Jesus, boys.
Oh.
Come on.
Just gassing him up, Rocco. Just gassing him up.
I know. Hey, I love it. Thanks for joining us. You've been great. We do appreciate you taking the time. We're both big fans of your game and looking forward to having you in Ottawa. And best of luck this upcoming season. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.